Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. General Hospital spoilers. Elizabeth enters uncharted territory as Finn hits the bottle. Can they survive this? General Hospital spoilers reveal Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, was stunned when she showed up at Hamilton Finn's Michael Easton apartment only to find he was alone with Violet Finn, Jafita Love, and drinking. Emphasis on that last part. Elizabeth is well aware that her man has been struggling with his father's diagnosis for some time, and his inability to save him from it even with having some of the best connections in the country in neurology. He and Gregory Harrison, have been through some serious ups and downs over the last couple of years. The recent memory lingering in his mind of his dad lashing out on his betrayal and cheating with his stepmother is one that is likely to sting for a while. Numbing the pain of his unintended relapse at his brother's wedding on top of that and his father's unexpected death is already a move Finn is rationalizing, and Elizabeth isn't going to stand for it. General Hospital spoilers, the last straw. Finn was already shaken over the last week after the blowout he had with his father on the night of Harrison Chase's, Josh Swickard, rehearsal dinner. He had tried to bury the way he still felt about himself for sleeping with his father's bride-to-be all those years ago, but all it took was one remark from his dad to set him off into a spiral of shame. Combine that with his oopsie sip of champagne at the height of the night at Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain's Amanda Seton wedding, and it was a recipe for disaster. Although he and his father did their best to make amends that night, Finn thought he had more time to smooth things over and leave his mistake in the past. Finding his father dead in bed was the last straw. He'll never have another chance to have that conversation with his dad and put this to rest. GH spoilers. Hint: it only takes one time. It was clear at the wedding that Finn was disturbed by the very taste of alcohol. He was shocked that he made such a careless mistake. It wasn't a lapse in judgment, but truly a mistake. He had no time to think about the decision. It was just a reflex, and now much the same. A familiar old reflex is coming into play as he tries to cope with his father's untimely death. Will this mark the end of his relationship with Elizabeth if he can't quickly pull it together? General Hospital spoilers, Elizabeth Weber's new storyline. Someone had to take a stand. As Elizabeth took note of the booze on the shelf and the glass of it on the fireplace hearth, she was shocked to hear Finn defending his choice to drink his pain away. Acknowledging right away that she wouldn't be able to stop him from doing whatever he wanted to do, she was clear that she wouldn't let him get drunk with Violet around. Will Elizabeth cart Violet off to her place and keep her there? And if so, for how long? What is the rebound from this relapse going to look like? With Elizabeth's sons all growing up and needing to rely on her less, will this auntie take over as placeholder mom to Violet as Finn goes off the rails? Will that leave an opening for Hayden Barnes, Rebecca Budick, to finally return and claim her child? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to find out. The halls of General Hospital have always been rife with drama, secrets, and heartache, but nothing could prepare the staff and patients for the turmoil that is about to unfold. Elizabeth Weber, a stalwart nurse who has weathered more storms than anyone could count, finds herself entering uncharted territory, both personally and professionally, as her relationship with Dr. Hamilton Finn spirals out of control. Elizabeth's life has never been easy. From a tumultuous childhood to complex relationships, she has managed to keep her head above water. Her dedication to her work and her children has always been her anchor, but now she faces a crisis that threatens to shake her to her core. Elizabeth has been noticing changes in Finn's behavior, his mood swings, his irritability, and most alarmingly, his increasing reliance on alcohol. Dr. Finn, a brilliant physician with a troubled past, has always struggled with his demons. His battle with addiction is no secret, but for a time, it seemed he had it under control. The recent loss of a patient, coupled with unresolved personal issues, has pushed him back into the clutches of his old nemesis, alcohol. Finn's descent into the bottle is swift and brutal, and it doesn't take long for those around him to notice. Elizabeth, ever the caretaker, tries to reach out to Finn. She understands the darkness he is facing and wants to help him through it. However, Finn's pride and shame create a barrier that even Elizabeth's unwavering support cannot penetrate. The more she tries to help, the more he pushes her away. Finn's once gentle demeanor has turned harsh and cold, leaving Elizabeth feeling helpless and alone. As Finn's drinking worsens, it begins to affect his work. Colleagues and patients notice the change in him, and whispers of his relapse start circulating through the hospital. Elizabeth finds herself torn between protecting Finn and her professional responsibilities. She knows that reporting his behavior could cost him his career, but remaining silent could endanger patients' lives. The tension between Elizabeth and Finn reaches a boiling point one night when Finn shows up at her house, drunk and belligerent. The man standing before her is a shadow of the Finn she once knew, a man who is lost in his pain and unable to see the damage he is causing. Elizabeth, heartbroken and exhausted, tries to reason with him, but her words fall on deaf ears. Finn lashes out, accusing her of trying to control him and meddling in his life. Elizabeth is left with a heart-wrenching decision. She knows that she cannot force Finn to seek help, but she also knows that she cannot stand by and watch him destroy himself. With a heavy heart, she decides to take a step back, hoping that the distance will make Finn realize the severity of his situation. It is a painful choice, one that leaves her questioning if their relationship can survive this ordeal. As days turn into weeks, Elizabeth throws herself into her work, trying to distract herself from the pain. But the hospital is a constant reminder of Finn. Everywhere she turns, she sees his absence, feels the weight of his struggle. Her colleagues, aware of the situation, offer their support, but Elizabeth feels an overwhelming sense of isolation. She misses the man she fell in love with, the man who is now buried under layers of grief and addiction. Meanwhile, Finn's life continues to unravel. His drinking leads to a series of professional blunders, culminating in a near-fatal mistake during surgery. The incident forces the hospital administration to intervene, and Finn is placed on mandatory leave. It is a wake-up call, but it might be too late. Finn, now stripped of his purpose and his pride, hits rock bottom. In his darkest hour, Finn finally acknowledges the depth of his problem. He reaches out to a support group and begins the grueling journey of recovery. It's a fragile process, one that requires immense strength and honesty. Finn knows that he has a long road ahead of him, but for the first time in months, he feels a glimmer of hope. Elizabeth, upon hearing of Finn's decision to seek help, feels a mix of relief and apprehension. She wants to be there for him, but she also knows that he needs to do this on his own. She continues to support him from a distance, attending her own therapy sessions to cope with the emotional toll of their ordeal. Her love for Finn remains strong, but she is cautious, wary of getting hurt again. As Finn makes progress in his recovery, he reaches out to Elizabeth, expressing his regret and his desire to make amends. The reunion is tentative and filled with raw emotion. They both have scars from the past few months, but there is a mutual understanding that healing will take time. Together, they navigate the delicate path of rebuilding their relationship. It is a journey fraught with challenges, but also moments of profound connection.